Thank you for tuning in to the Austin All Day Culinary Tales podcast. I'm Jason Powers, and joining us here today from The Last Straw is Chef Zack and his right-hand man, Chanler. You guys sit back, grab a drink, and check it out. Last Straw. Chef Zack, Chef Chanler. You guys are joining the podcast here. Zack Chanler.
Yeah. Hello.
And you're mentioning a beanie, but you're from Chicago.
Correct.
And this is the first.
I'm 3 months in.
3 months.
I believe. Yeah, I moved in. My wife and I moved in June.
3 months. Time flies.
Yeah, it actually really does. We talked about that earlier today. It's been a lot already.
Right. So real quick, give me a little rundown. What is Last Straw? Last Straw is pretty new too.
Last Straw is a year old.
Super new.
A year and some change old. It is a tiki bar. They have a food program that they've asked me to completely rehash, rewrite. So we just launched our first menu. August 26th was the menu drop. And so it's a 100% new food menu, 100% new drink menu. It's great. We want people to go.
Yeah, definitely.
It's delicious.
Now, I've heard good things about the food.
I heard on one of your previous podcasts someone was giving us some love.
That is right, yeah. I believe it was Chef Jim from Holy Roller.
But I don't know if that was the old menu or the
I was going to say.
assume it's the old menu.
You have a new menu now. So
I hope it's still.
Any exciting changes on there?
It's 100% new. I mean, like everything is
okay. Wow.
Sort of my vision with, what the space is and what the theme is for the restaurant, what I think will play well with the customer base.
Is the new menu up on the website?
I don't even know. Do we even have a website? I have no idea.
You do.
I looked at that earlier and I didn't go that far.
Is it a big palm tree?
There's a big palm tree.
Probably. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. It's on
There
the
was
bar.
like tempura fish tacos.
Yeah, we have tempura fish taco.
Okay,
Maybe it is on there.
That's new.
I
Beach House
browsed
burger.
over it real quick.
Very tight.
I'm guilty. I haven't eaten there at all.
Yeah, that's all right.
I will, though.
Yeah.
I'll make a point of it.
We haven't done any marketing, so no one even knows that we have a new menu.
Well, so as I was kind of browsing the website, I guess, it's way more focused on cocktails and the bar aspect, right, for the time being.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's a bar, first and foremost. We're selling drinks. Oh, it is on there.
The menu is on the website.
The menu's on the website. Go look at the website.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tiki bar. The drinks are outstanding. The bar program is outstanding. I think they wanted to get the food up to where the cocktails were, which I think it was not in a negative way, but it wasn't designed in a way that matched. And so I think that's why they brought me in, and here we are now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Chanler, how long have you been over there?
We both got hired around the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
nice.
I think the same month, same week. I don't actually know.
And you can kind of fill him in on the Austin scene because,
I've been trying.
That's all he's been doing.
That's all I talk about.
Okay.
Go drink at this bar.
Well, let's just resume the filling in here and hear where what have you been telling him?
We went to Kitty Cohen's once together, and that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Before we came here, we went to Yellow Jacket just because traffic was so terrible.
Nice.
You've been there? Yeah.
Of course.
Of course you've been there. Yeah. Do you sharpen their knives?
I do.
That's nice.
I was just over there. I love going there. I get machetes, all kinds of out the front pocket knives. So it's a good stop.
Oh, that's awesome.
What do you think? You've been here in Austin for how long?
9 years, going on 10 years, I think.
But local relative. I mean, you're from Houston.
Yeah, I'm from Houston. I moved here and I've been here on the east side for probably 7 years.
And man, you've seen a lot happen then.
Yeah, I was over at Yellow Jacket and I was talking about all the condos that were up and now that used to be a tortilla factory. It's like graffiti on it and
yeah,
it was always changing. And then like even the tram wasn't there.
Sure.
Back in the day. And
what
Tamale
do you
House
think?
was just like a back house little thing serving food off of Fifth Street.
Tamale right by Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, now it's like a full-blown bar, restaurant.
Yeah. What do you think the change is good over there? Because it's been really drastic out over there.
I don't care. I mean,
yeah. I mean, there's so many good places to eat over there. It's insane. Yeah. We were talking about where's El Bruto and Kimari Tatsu. Is that six?
Yeah, it's right down 6.
Yeah, it's 6 in Kamal.
That little strip there has so much good food.
Yeah,
you could just spend every night there and just kind of repeat repeat restaurants. It's a great place.
It's like Restaurant and Bar Row. I mean, kind of like Logan in Chicago, where just like a sea of businesses, like just like here's a restaurant, this new place is opening, this place took over this old place that closed down, couldn't do enough business for a year, and then you've got like cocktail bar.
Did places up and close in Chicago frequently?
All the time, every quarter.
We see that. We don't see that a lot on the east side, but it's all too new, right?
It's like every year
Something closes.
something will close down because it didn't last. Like the only thing I can think of is that Creole place that was behind HEB next to Hops and Grain. It was a trailer, and then it got like a thing, and then it didn't last very long. Hops and Grain is closing down too.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Nonetheless, East Side
Cheers.
is crazy, saturated with excellent stuff. So good place to be staying.
Yeah.
So you, before you came from Houston to here, were you cooking already in Houston?
No, I'm from Houston, but I haven't lived in Houston proper since I was like 17.
But your transition from Houston to here, you started. Was that
I transitioned from Europe to here.
Europe to here?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your past then, from Europe. I mean,
As far as cooking, it's like when I was 17, I lived on a World War II ship in the Calcasieu River. It was like a humanitarian effort. Then I kind of just like uprooted my life because I was bored and lived on this World War II ship for a year. And I was cooking for a crew of like 55.
was it
in a
bored or
ship.
more like kind of searching? I mean,
I was 17, so I mean, it was a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I was listening to a lot of Bob Marley.
Wow.
Like, Groundation was a good band I liked, which probably no one fucking knows. It's like a white dude who thinks he's like Rastafarian from California.
they've got a lot of those in California.
Yeah, I mean, it was good music, man.
There you go.
Yeah. I was living in a ship, cooking in a ship. I don't even know what the kitchen's called in a ship, but
It's probably still called the kitchen.
it's still called
Yeah,
a kitchen. Yeah.
kitchen.
Well, I mean,
Well, they
there's
call
different
the
names for
bathroom
everything.
the head, right?
Yeah, there's different name for everything on a
The
ship. It's
bow,
like
the
the
stern,
gallows
the tail.
or the whatever. Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Me and a bunch of old women cooking like dinner for for a bunch of people, and then we sailed 10 days to an island, put on a medical mission. I was not cooking then. Yeah, that was my first experience cooking.
Wow.
17 on a ship.
Definitely cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of big equipment.
Oh yeah.
Like everything's just like 3 times the size it should be.
Right. I mean, like, what are we talking? Like, have you been into like a Whole Foods kitchen or like something?
No, I've never worked a commercial kitchen
Well, I bet it's similar.
like that size.
Right? With like,
Yeah, just production.
Yeah, just
tilt
like
skillets.
Tilt
Yeah.
skillet.
Yeah.
like you watch those docs. I don't know if you've seen them, but like I'm a chef and I work on a cruise ship, and you just like see the amount of stuff that they go through. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's got to be something similar to like a Central Market or what Whole Foods does because they're cranking out all that prepared things for everybody, right?
Yeah, just
Packaged
volume,
things.
just tons of volume.
Yeah, like catering and all that. And then what? Where? So you on the cruise ship to where?
We put on a free medical mission, then we sailed back, and then I went to Europe for like 3.
It wasn't a cruise ship. Sorry.
Yeah, it was an old, terrible ship that broke down in the middle of the ocean. We just had to like get towed back, and then we fixed it, and then went back. And I was a lookout on that whole ship, so I was just like captain's deck on the lookout. There's 2 lookouts on both sides,
Right.
and I would just stand there with binoculars and like say, "Cruise ship coming on port side, like 40 degrees starboard," like, and you just say stuff like I didn't really do anything.
Do you
It was
ever
great.
have to do iceberg?
Yeah, on the way to Cuba.
Yeah. Oh, really?
we broke down like really close to Cuba, and that's when like America wasn't on good terms with them. I don't know if we have been.
I don't know if we have
but
good
never-
terms now.
yeah,
I was gonna
since-
say, but
Right.
I mean, I was in Cuba not too long ago, and it's fine. But they still hate Americans for sure.
yeah. Well, a lot of Americans hate it.
Federally, not like people hate me because I'm American, but
Right,
they
right.
charge more money for like an exchange of currency.
Oh, really?
If you're an American, you just instantly more.
Sure.
That's all I meant. Yeah, no icebergs, but yeah, after that I went to Europe, and then I lived in Italy for a while, in Naples, and I was like working at this hostel, cooking for a bunch of people, making pasta and stuff, learning some cool things from people who owned restaurants, whose son owned the hostel, and stuff like that.
So you're
But-
kind of getting an education during the process.
yeah. I mean, the whole thing was a workaway experience. So it was like I was just working for a place to stay and food, and then no money really
Were you keeping in touch with the family?
Yeah, my mom and my dad, my grandparents, my sisters. Yeah, I was definitely keeping in touch, but not as good as I should have been.
Sure.
And that's more than I keep in touch with
I'm
now.
pretty bad at stuff like that, but you have to tell your mom where you're at every now and then, or send a photo.
Definitely.
They always worry more than everyone else.
Mom, my ship was getting towed in Cuba.
Mom, look at this
Check it out.
calzone I ate yesterday. Like, no context whatsoever. Having a great time in Italy.
Yeah, but so you got introduced to cooking in a interesting way there. No culinary school.
It was just 17 on the ship, all through Europe, and then I had like 33 days in Denton County Jail, where I was also a cook.
In the jail.
Yeah,
33 days stint. You
33
got to be a
days
cook?
in Denton, and I was a cook.
What were you arrested for?
I don't have to hear that right
Okay.
now. For being a stupid person when I was 21.
Oh yeah.
Heard.
Yeah.
I think. Have you done that? I've done that.
What? No, I haven't, but I'm like an innocent little.
I've done
butterfly.
nothing stupid since I was 21.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
okay.
But
Sure.
like that was the peak of me being. I have to edit that out.
Well, have fun with that.
Being
Okay.
stupid, right?
Yeah, it was the peak of me being 21 and
Your height of your.
ignorant.
Yeah.
Stupid. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
What happened after that? You said something about France, right?
Oh, that was before the 33-day
okay.
experience cooking at a state prison.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
But France, I worked at after Italy, France. It was all around the same like 2 years like thing that I lived in Europe.
Right.
And because I just worked at a vineyard. It was this guy's last harvest, and you'd wake up in the morning and there's just this table that looked like this, but like 10 times bigger. And there would be like 20 people on each side, and the family would serve you dinner, breakfast, lunch at this table, and it was all family style, and it was really, really great. And it was all like in this old building, and his caves, like over there was last harvest wines. And you'd like wake up, get in a van, go, and like sun's coming up in the hills of France, and you start on one side of the vineyard. Either you're carrying this big like bucket on your back, or you have gloves on and like a little knife and a bucket in your other hand. And we all start walking at the same time, and you're just like clipping grapes, and then when it's full, you like dump it in the guy's bucket. And as soon as you get to the other side, which wasn't that far, it was like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes of work, everybody just takes their shit off, and they just like drop it on the floor, all light up a cigarette, and they're all just like, oh shit, oh whatever they're saying, oh putain, and then you smoke like a cigarette or two, and then you all put it back on, you go back to the van, and when you get to the van, same thing, take it all off. But at the van, they have like an igloo full of wine and like saucisson chopped up and like little brie packets that you can like undo, the little triangles.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're all just like ripping baguettes off and like putting cheese and saucisson on it.
After
like,
one.
every single time. Every single time.
Every time. Okay.
Every single time you do one and back, it's like you're eating and you're drinking
How long does
wine.
that last for? I guess it depends on the size of the crop, right?
Like a couple months.
He had a pretty small one, but we would work about 7 hours a day.
But like every 20, 30 minutes, that.
Every 20, 30 minutes you stop and you eat and
Yeah.
you drink like 2 or 3 glasses of wine.
We could
and then you
definitely
just-
adapt that lifestyle here.
I would
Oh,
take it. That's what I
love
thought
it.
I was getting when I moved to Austin. Was like
Yeah.
the European
Yeah.
treatment.
3 drinks per shift.
Sure. So and
Don't do that.
That's
then-
not.
and then
that's
you
not
end
how
up at-
last straw works.
yeah, that's not how Austin, I guess, works anyway.
That's not true.
That's not true.
He can. I don't know. I'm not from a place of knowing that information.
And then I ended up here because all my other friends who lived in different cities when I was gone moved here, and I was like,
Oh, really?
if I have to live in any city in Texas, it's going to be Austin.
Sure.
Definitely not Houston, because it's. I would live in Houston, but I'd have to live in a certain neighborhood, and I know the possibilities that I want for myself wouldn't exist in that neighborhood in Houston. So I was like,
As far as like career.
yeah, it's just the things that I wanted and the people I wanted to meet and like the things I wanted to do. Music.
So the Chef Zack, you've come here from Chicago. I'm curious why. What you thought you were going to be sipping wine every 20 minutes and in the back in the walk-in or something?
It sounds great.
It does. You can still do that.
No, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Chicago is an amazing city, and I'm from there. I'm from the suburbs. I should qualify that in case anyone listens and says he's not from the city.
That's what
But-
that's the goes standard with.
Yeah,
Chicago.
you're not from the. So I'm from the suburbs,
Right.
and then I lived in the city for whatever, 13 years or something like that. But I started cooking when I was 28, and it's great. I mean, the culinary scene is amazing. I was telling Chanler on our way down here, like, it's
a little different.
It's different. It's definitely more like high octane or more intense or more focused, maybe.
I know when I first talked to you, I was curious about the contrast between. But I don't think you've been here long enough to have eaten enough food, or have you gotten out?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten out a little bit, but not really. But honestly, I mean,
He doesn't go out.
I don't go out. I'm lazy. I go home and I eat yogurt and watch HBO.
It's a common thread here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yogurt's a new one, but
and I got to be healthy, and I eat like fried crap all day.
right.
No, it's different for sure. I mean, there's obviously great food, and there's I think a wide scale as far as everything from lowbrow or bar food or tacos or food truck, sort of quality up to fine dining, but it is not the same volume at each sort of level. And I think in Chicago you have the spectrum that is vast or wide or whatever, but you have so much of each of those things. So you have all these like corner taquerias, right? I mean, you've got like every other corner has a good taco spot where you can get pastor or steak tacos or whatever. But then you've got so many places that are like amazing, quote unquote, modern American or elevated, Pan Asian or Japanese food or incredible sushi spots. And I mean, the list goes on.
Sure, yeah.
Indian, everything. Like it's
Everything.
Yeah, it's so multicultural that there is no shortage of anything. And then you have your fine dining restaurants or your Michelin restaurants and that sort of thing.
Which we don't have.
Yeah,
Which you don't
Austin
have,
doesn't
which
have
is
any-
great. I mean, I think that's great because I think it's a bunch of BS.
Do we have any James Beard?
We have that
I know you guys
all
did,
over
yeah.
the place.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think at a certain point it becomes something that like,
Which you could also qualify as BS.
yeah, which, a lot of chefs I think will work towards as like the ultimate goal as opposed to,
Well, yeah.
like a creative goal or like a financial solvency goal or something like that.
Sure.
That
Why do you see it as BS?
because it's cooking is a creative trade, right? That's how I perceive it. I don't see it as like an art form. I mean, I think something like Alinea is totally different than what you would be
Alinea.
getting.
Did you tell him about Alinea?
So Alinea is whatever, 3 Michelin star
Is
restaurant.
that
where
the
you
carpet in the kitchen?
That's not where I worked.
Is that carpet in the
carpeted kitchen?
Carpet.
I mean, but like
Wait,
that's
there's a carpet
different-
in the kitchen?
The whole kitchen
Why?
is carpeted.
Why?
It's just a beautiful whatever 3 Michelin
Just
star
to prove to
restaurant.
the fact that like they don't spill things?
$300, yeah, or that they keep it clean. $300, dinners,
Perfect.
$500 with wine.
So who vacuums the carpet?
Probably the commis.
Okay. We should carpet Last Straw's kitchen.
I would love it. We should
How
carpet
much?
the walls.
We just bought that Dirt Devil.
Oh yeah, there's a dirt devil.
I was
So
like,
we could actually vacuum
why did you
Please.
guys buy that Dirt Devil? It's like a mini one
to vacuum 3 rugs.
to vacuum 3 rugs where we pay a service
Please,
to like come
please,
and replace
please.
them.
As if you guys can do that, do that.
Yeah.
If we carpet the kitchen, I'm wearing
Hey,
socks and I'm not even wearing.
Should we tell them about the
Birkenstocks.
Instagram?
What's that?
Should we tell them about the Instagram?
You told me to keep it a secret, so I will keep it a secret. But if you want to dispose that, that's fine.
All right, man. We'll tell you later. We'll tell you.
Gosh.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Wow.
I don't think
Cliffhanger.
Michelin is bullshit. I'm just saying that like I don't think it's at least for my I mean, I'm only speaking for myself, right? That is not like a specific goal of mine. I want to
Sure.
create food that I am happy with, that I think that like people who are coming to eat the food are happy with, that works well for the business I'm working in. And so if all I'm trying to do is like achieve, some sort of excellence that's being given an award so that I can go to an award show and say, oh, this, whatever steak that I cooked is award worthy. Like that's great, but also not what my intention was when I started cooking. And I started
Sure.
cooking in 28. I wasn't cooking when I was like 17, 18, like Chanler. So my whole goal was learn how to cook, get in strong kitchens and like learn under quality chefs so that I can make a career out of it and become a chef and do something that I know is
So
of
you're a
quality.
little older. You're focusing more on like, well-being, your quality of life. You
Quality
need
of
to make
life.
a living out of this.
and,
But
having like a career that I'm proud of, that's
Yeah.
something I can go home from every day.
you got to
and be,
tell
like,
me
happy with
what.
it.
Now you said 28, and it didn't even register because a lot of guys are cooking before that. What
Oh,
were you
yeah.
doing beforehand?
Oh, I was doing probably the most admirable career imaginable in advertising
Let me
sales.
guess. Oh,
advertising sales for a newspaper,
Okay, well that's not what newspaper.
Chicago Sun-Times.
Okay,
Yeah, it was great. It was really,
remember that
really
one.
fulfilling. Yeah, they throw back to Chicago Sun-Times. I mean, it was just like so unfulfilling.
Is it not around anymore?
I think they're around, but they're probably owned by someone else. I know Tribune took over their distribution
Sure.
some ways back.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, I mean, I wanted to do something that was creative. I loved food, and I loved cooking, and I loved eating. And I thought that I could hack it. And so I started cooking, and I went to culinary school to get my foot in the door.
Okay.
And
When you were cooking before the decision to go to culinary school and before you started thinking about it as a career,
sure.
what were you cooking at home and who for?
Oh man, for my ex-wife,
For your wife at the time?
wife at the time.
Wife at the time,
Yeah.
no kids.
I'm married
no
now,
kids.
no kids.
Okay, no kids now.
Couple dogs, no kids now. We
But
used to have a
so
couple dogs.
wife at the time, and then what like cookbooks did you get, or what were you doing?
I don't even, honestly, I don't even remember having cookbooks. I'm sure I was like following Bourdain and being, admiring what he was doing and like the things that he was talking about as far as the looseness in cooking and French cuisine. And, I think what I've carried from then through to now is method as opposed to, following a recipe or something. I was never into just like, let me print off this Rachel Ray recipe and then like follow it to a T.
When you
and it'll
say
be great.
method, what are you talking
Method of cooking. So like learning, how to braise something or how to cure something or brine or sear, saute, poêle,
How to bring out the
whatever.
best flavor of everything.
But really, like if you understand method as opposed to just being able to follow a recipe, you're much better off.
more like a technique.
Yeah, you learn the
So-
technique. And so I was trying to learn the technique at home, just being like, I know how to follow this recipe and make this like slow roasted chicken or slow braised chicken in this sauce. So can I apply it to beef or can I apply it to pork or
Sure.
tofu or whatever, vegetable? It doesn't even matter.
Right.
So yeah.
His wife's vegan, by the way.
My now wife is vegetarian.
Vegetarian? So you can-
Really pescatarian, not vegetarian.
Eggs and all that good stuff?
Eggs, yeah.
She's fine.
Dairy. She'll
It's
be all
fine.
right.
I'm sorry. I thought she was vegan.
Yeah, vegan. What the hell would we even do?
You said you don't cook meat at your house, and I immediately
I don't
assumed
cook
that
meat.
you were just a vegan.
No, I don't.
I
cook.
apologize. I just think eating animals is terrible, but I'm not a strong enough person to
Are you a
stop.
vegan?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
But
not.
you're not a strong enough
You'd be
person.
such
not-
an
I'm not as
asshole if
strong-
you were a vegan.
Dude,
Well,
if I was
look,
a vegan,
you got to
I'd-
remember this. People are growing animals like plants to
Oh,
kill
yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
I know, but
it's horrible, but
it's like you can only be, in my opinion, like a solid dude who eats chicken, beef, pork. If you can like locally source all that stuff,
sure.
that would be amazing. And that's totally possible in Austin. And like there's a lot of restaurants where that's why they put 44 farms underneath like the steak that they have on the menu.
I mean, that's why
It's
we're
'cause they
doing
want
it.
people to know that it's locally sourced.
Yeah.
And you don't have to feel bad about eating it because they had the best life, or something like that. So it's totally possible in Austin to be like a conscious person who's a carnivore, whatever you want to say, like
For sure.
Eats everything in moderation.
I
Try to do that.
Yeah, you do need. Well, if you do it in moderation, you can do it. But you do need to
You
have
can't eat
some
fast
money.
food.
Right.
There's a lot of things you like can't
fast
do.
food I can't do.
Just feel bad.
Oh yeah,
about,
it's horrible.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like that's something where even at a bar like Last Straw, where it's like, we have this, very sort of.
You got off on a rant there. What?
Oh no, that's all right. Like we have such a great cocktail program, and like even if our food program is, I would say, growing right now, like I'm not gonna bring in just commodity beef or commodity chicken just to like have the cheapest option on our menu. I mean, I want to sell something that.
What was the case
is
before
worthwhile.
your menu redesign?
I mean, as far as what the items were on the menu or where we were sourcing from.
Sourcing.
I mean, we're just
Did you
sourcing,
change
I
that?
think. Yeah, a little bit. We're getting produce from Segovia. They're cool. I'm pulling in some other vendors. I'm getting Farm to Table, bringing our proteins in from local
Yeah, shout 'em
Texas.
out.
And then,
Farm to
Farm to Table's great. # Farm to Table or whatever. They get, I mean, like they're getting, it's like Texas beef, Texas chicken. They're sourcing pork from like a really good farm in Iowa that's all Berkshire and, quality raised, no like hormones and that sort of thing. So even if it's bar food, like it should still, you can get it anywhere. Like there's access for all chefs to get this stuff, and it's not expensive.
Well, we could Casino El Camino. Just bar food goes a long way sometimes.
Have you interviewed Casino El Camino?
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm gonna get Zach in here.
I want to know
Zach,
where they get their beef from.
I don't know if he might not tell you.
I mean, I don't want to know.
I mean, sometimes it spoils it because
I love
then
Casino El Camino.
people like in Chicago. So, for example, and people probably know this one, like Au Cheval, right? Which now I think they have a New York location. The whole thing is their burger is like for years is like the number one burger in Chicago, if not like the country.
Sure.
Right? They're sourcing whatever, like commodity pre-portioned beef patties, and then you just they're slapping some pork belly on it and a fried egg and like a pile of chives, and it's the number one burger. And it's like if anyone at the time was really giving a shit about where they were sourcing from,
Right.
it could have changed. But
Yeah.
I mean. And at the end of the day, you want to feed people, but as a chef, I think, for myself and for my own sanity, it's about having something that you can put on the table. Yeah, you want to stand by or be proud of and not feel, like regretful for putting out as far as like what you're doing to the overall environment and the overall economy of the country. I mean,
Sure. Well, I mean, welcome to Austin.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and Chanler, great host, I'm sure, to bring you around, show you some stuff, some local stuff here.
He's in my ear every day.
Yeah.
I just want to meet his wife.
It's ideas, and places to go.
You
You want to be my wife or me?
I want to meet your wife.
Oh, you haven't met her?
We need a double date.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There we
Need a
go.
double date.
Yeah, where are you guys going to go? Casino? I don't know.
I want to go when I do go out to eat, which is not. It doesn't happen that often. It's Bufalina on the east side on Cesar Chavez.
She'll go for Italian.
Oof.
She likes
They make
pasta.
their own mozzarella, and like they have that Napolitani style like pizza oven that gets really hot, and like they have all these natural wines, and they have a reverse happy hour.
Oh, that sounds great.
It's really, really great.
I've
If you
heard
go
it's
with 4
good.
people, perfectly priced.
It's good.
If you go
Pile
with,
of
if you go with
food.
3, it's like who's drinking an extra glass of wine?
Oh, yeah.
But 4 is perfect.
That wouldn't be a question if I joined you.
No, I mean, yeah.
What extra glass?
Well, there you go, Bufalina. So, I always like to touch on good places to go eat. Where have you been? Where have you been? Notable places.
The most notable I've been to is Suerte, but that was when I was visiting here in March.
Yeah.
And that was phenomenal. I mean, like,
Yeah, but they've been getting raving
Yeah,
reviews.
they're
yeah,
like
it's
number
like
one.
cliched. It's like cliched to rave about it, but it's incredible.
No, it's
I
all
mean, like,
good.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, they're, I think, doing something with the style of cuisine that, and coming from, I mean, we literally were here for 3 days from Chicago and we ate there. And the style that they're doing, I think for here is perceived as being like very either fancy or very upscale. And for me, I'm just like, well, this is just like beautifully done food
Sure.
with like incredibly sourced product. And it's just executed perfectly in a very comfortable, casual environment that happens to be like nice or a little more expensive, but you're paying for, like, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It is 100% worth it. It's so good.
One thing that I've just randomly thought of, because it's next door to Suerte, is the Via 313. You're sacrificing
Love
I've
that
been
place.
there.
the pizza out of your life here.
No, that place is amazing.
Via's pretty good. Detroit.
Via's
Oh, yeah.
the shit.
Oh, it's
But
great.
you're limited to about that and a Bufalina. I'm sorry. Maybe then.
Well, no, there's a couple notable pizza places on the east side besides Via 313.
So what?
Southside Pizza and Cesar Chavez.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah?
Because they have the arcade games in the back that are all free.
So you're talking about more of the atmosphere. There.
Well, and the pizza's really good too. The pizza's really good. You,
All right,
you get a massive slice for $5.
It's true. You do get a big.
My
piece
friend
of pizza.
Stoney used to work there, and he'd give me like free Modelo's.
That's good.
So it's
That's
like
worth the
it's
trip.
a homey spot, and it's also if you want to get pizza and get a beer and
They've got one
go
right
play
down the street
arcade
there.
games in the back for free and smoke cigarettes or whatever the hell you want to do. It's like
Yeah.
it's a nice place that's lowbrow. Who cares? You can do whatever you want.
Good pizza.
You run into homies, and then there's East Side Pies that's been around, and
Yeah, you said I want to go.
East
they
there.
still have the one
Pies.
on.
That's true, man.
Yeah, East
and
Side Rosewood or whatever over there by the hipster pharmacy place.
The real. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And those guys. That
Remember
guy.
Trailer Space or what's that records shop that used to be there? Trailer
I don't know.
Space. Yeah, Trailer Space Records used to be right next to East Side Pies.
I don't know if it's the owner or like a manager. Somebody. He's all into knives, like hardcore. Just like
East Side,
yeah.
Yeah,
East
knives
Side
are
Pie.
cool.
but that
Yeah.
pizza is like great. The quiche The quiche, it's like
The gish.
no, it's the best pizza I slice of pizza I think I've had that I can remember having.
Didn't they relocate or remodel the whole East Side stuff?
Well, they bought out Trailer Space Records. You know where 11th breaks up and it either
There
goes
you
to the
go.
State
That's where
Cemetery
it is,
or it goes
yeah.
to 12th?
That's where
It's
it
right
is.
there.
Yes, but they so
It's
they
by Hillside Pharmacy, kind of. Like
Okay,
Picky
yeah.
Picky.
Yep,
And
I know
like
what you're
Hillside Pharmacy.
Hipster
John.
Pharmacy. Do you remember when
Hillside's
they
great.
spray painted Hillside Pharmacy, Hipster Pharmacy?
I didn't see that.
So there's
Hillside's
there's a place
delicious.
called Hillside Pharmacy.
Yeah, it's delicious. We've been
Worst restaurant ever.
there. No, it's awesome. I love it.
I hate that place.
No, I love it.
Are
And
you
I love
kidding
the
me?
aesthetic.
Come on.
The
Give 'em
bathroom's
a break.
amazing.
The aesthetic's
Shout out
great.
to Hillside Pharmacy's bathroom.
The aesthetic's great. That's why people go there, but the food is terrible.
It does
It's
have a
fine.
good
I had a good
bathroom.
salad. I had a good salad there.
Someone spray painted on top of their awning. It said Hillside Pharmacy. They put Hipster Pharmacy.
Yeah, for
and black
sure.
spray paint.
Yeah.
And it was like the funniest joke for a while.
I'm still
while.
catching up. with the
Yeah, and they
Austin
left it
sense of
there. They
humor.
left it up there for weeks. It was great. They're like, yeah, let everybody take
I mean, that's
photos of
pretty
this.
funny.
I
Yeah,
would
why not?
think if you just like immediately repaired that, the same person would go back, like, and just be like, "Sorry."
Just own it.
Yeah.
Own it.
Yeah,
Own
if
it.
you immediately did it, you'd be like, cool. They really took offense to that.
They're cooler for
Yeah, but
they
acknowledging
left
that
it
they're a
there.
hipster, whatever, pharmacy.
Even hipsters don't go
restaurant.
there because it's a shitty restaurant.
Oh shit!
Man, I disagree.
All right.
All right, whatever.
Next
Shoot.
subject. No. What were we just talking about before Hillside Pharmacy?
We're talking about Trailer Space Records, which was the best record shop ever to exist in Austin ever,
Yes.
and they closed down.
And East Side Pies and the pizza and your
And Eastside Pies
Good
was right next
pizza,
door.
yeah.
So I was saying, Via 313 and Bufalino are not the only two
What
good
about
pizza
Home
spots.
Slice?
I like Home Slice. I go get Home Slice. It's fine. It's
Okay.
pizza.
Home Slice is great, but
Their crust is good. Their crust is actually legit
Italian
good.
sandwich is way better than their pizzas.
You've already been there and I've not been there. But Italian sandwich and then Portillo's. Like we can't.
I was at
Are
Home
there
Slice.
Italians in Austin? I don't even know.
No, there's no Italian.
Chandler looks Italian, but I don't think
There's
he's
no
Italian.
Italianos in Austin, okay?
Oh man,
Do look Italian.
good
now.
thing.
Because I look like Mario because I have a mustache. Is that what you're saying?
Wow.
It's a good thing you're not recording this visually. Because
Like skinny, it's crossing your legs, got a little attitude, that sort of thing. It's it's an
you're saying
Italian
how
thing.
beautiful olive skin.
No, it's very like stereotypical against Italians. Actually, is what it is.
So I was at Home Slice on Congress last weekend, and my girlfriend walked to go get a glass of water.
Yeah.
And I was sitting right there eating half an Italian sub, and this photographer walked by, and he was like, "You're eating a sub at a pizza place?" And I was like, "It's really good." And he's like, "Can I take your photo?" And so my girlfriend's walking back with water, and she's like, "Of course." I leave for 30 seconds, and you're having a photographer take photos of you.
Eating an Italian
Yeah,
sub.
and I was like, how do you want me? And I was like, like just posing for this guy, and he was the nicest dude. He's so enthusiastic about his job.
Yeah, that's funny. What was he doing taking pictures?
No idea, but I let him take some, so hopefully I'm gonna be on like.
He has a series of pictures of men eating Italian
I'm
subs
trying
in
to
his
get
basement.
famous.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Just kidding.
you'll get there one day. One day. One day. Yeah.
Make me a star. I heard you say that the other day.
What? I would love to be made a star. It'd be great.
What just went through my
I'm
head
working
was
on it.
the star music in the Mario. Bum, bum, bum,
Oh,
bum,
yeah.
bum, bum, bum,
Because
bum.
Chandler's Italian.
Well, he's
It's
Mario.
Chandler, not Chandler.
So when I
You know,
was
Chandler.
D.
When
Did
I
I
was-
say Chandler?
No, I'm just saying.
It's Chan-
did you
common
put a D in my name
misconception.
by
No.
accident?
I put
When?
D in your name.
It's fine. I forgive you.
When? There's I'm
No,
not,
there was no time in recorded history.
Everyone does.
If there was, we can
That's
listen
okay.
to this back and
no,
No,
it's
not here.
Chandler, which is
Chandler.
interesting, but it's a name, right?
When I was in
Very
Italy, they didn't call me Chandler because apparently there's no CHA in the Italian language, and I've been saying that for years.
So
I
what do they
don't know
say?
if that's true, but that's what I've heard from an Italian. But they called me Ciro, Ciro,
Oh, that's cool.
which is a ketchup brand in Italy.
Almost sounds
It's
like
very
churro.
fitting.
Which is unrelated, but
I'm gonna start calling you Cheeto.
no, you say it like this. You go Ciro.
Oh, I like that.
So,
Cheeto.
so I'd walk into the bar where I like was doing my job,
Cheeto.
and they'd be like Ciro, and I'd be like Francisco.
So much better living over there, huh?
The
Is it?
quality of life in Europe, especially France and Italy, or just Spain as well. Like
Yeah, Spain's beautiful.
just the south of Europe in general, on the west side. Of
I've not been. No, you?
I've been to Spain. Yeah, Barcelona and Madrid and Granada.
It's insane.
Yeah. makes you,
And Germany.
When you come back here, do you kind of almost, mock a little bit how people, Westerners are?
When you spend 2-3 years in Europe and then you come back to Houston, Texas is where I flew into, the first thing that goes through your mind is, I need a job because I need to make money, because I need to buy all these things and live in a place and have, like, it's just all monetary, it's all pressure. It's like, but when I was living over there, it was never like that.
Yeah.
I never had anything that was in my mind that was like, I need this. I need to do this because I need this. It was just like, do this and this will happen. I don't know how to explain it, but it was, the first thing was, I need to get a job. Was the first thing that came to my mind when I landed.
Like pressure.
Yeah, the pressure to like make money, to
Not,
have
oh man,
money.
not, oh man, Americans are super fat and loud.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I was going for that, but
Yeah,
I
that's what-
guess. But also,
Sorry.
that sounds like you're being kind of like everybody's maybe taking care of each other in a way where you don't even think about it while you're there. But then when you come back here, you're like, Jesus,
I was a big hippie back then too, so
Well, it's changed.
It's a lot easier.
nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Except my hair. I don't have any hair anymore.
Well, I'm just going to ask you, if you're a big hippie and nothing's changed, do you have a plan B for instead of cooking or like down the road? Do you?
man.
You told me, but I guess I'm.
We
spoiling
did
it.
actual podcast prep.
We
like
literally
an
talked about
hour
this on the
before
way here,
this.
but I was
Oh,
not. I wasn't trying to prep for this. We were just being some buds in a car in traffic, trying to go to some podunk South neighborhood.
in traffic. I'm sorry.
I'm
And
just
there wasn't
kidding.
any traffic.
He on the way here, he was like, "This is beautiful. Where is this?" And I was like, "It's South Austin."
It's gorgeous.
And there's like trees and like a
There's
sunset.
trees and sky.
we
Oh my
saw
God.
like 4 deer walk
That's
by like
amazing.
someone's yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's okay. So I thought you guys had came from the east side straight to here, but it sounds like you
We did.
went
We
by
came from Yellow
Valentina's.
Jacket but we did a whole circle on his app and like had a
Okay.
Yeah.
So because south of here, it's all just gorgeous. It's there's no homes. Well, there's a few homes scattered throughout, but
we saw a little bit of that.
it's so beautiful.
We saw 3
great.
deer. I saw 3 deer run across
I
someone's
didn't.
yard.
I was driving safe.
And it
What's
was
really nice about living right here is if I turn right, I can go into the city and all the traffic, or if I just like feel like you just say, "Fuck it," you want to roll down the windows and go for a ride, you just do it,
Yeah.
and we can do it. I do it, and it's nice.
That's why Austin's so beautiful because there's always
There's an out.
watering holes. Yeah, there's an
Yeah.
out. There's
Yeah.
so many outs here. In every direction you go,
McKinney
there's
Falls
a
is
beautiful
so close.
place.
Yeah. I haven't been to Barton Springs yet, but I've been to the Greenbelt and
The Greenbelt
Zilker,
isn't one place. It's
whatever.
it's a
I've been to a
thousand
part
places.
of the whatever. I've been out and like hanging out in a little stream in a swimsuit, swim trunks.
Yeah,
You
you've
should
got
go
drinking.
visit some places before summer's over because it's not going to be nice anymore.
Yeah, that's okay. It'll be nice.
You don't like nature?
Yeah, I like nature. I like nature enough. I just want to be outside, really.
Anybody who says I like nature enough doesn't like nature.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, this doesn't
I like
sound
nature.
I love
enough.
nature. So Chandler's never been to Chicago, which I learned today.
But have you ever been in the Midwest or anywhere in that area during the winter?
I've been to New York in the winter. I've been to Berlin in the winter.
Okay, those qualify.
Yeah.
I've been to a ton of places in Germany in the winter. I know what cold is. I'm not like
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying
I just I'm okay with the level of time that I can spend outside comfortably.
It'll come.
Yeah, I got time. I'm gonna live here. I'm living here now. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna go out, whatever, like down, away from the city. Who cares? I don't know. Trees.
I'm gonna write a list of like really cool spots,
dude.
like the Devil's Hole.
Maybe
Where's
this
that at?
winter, just come up with a list so that next summer,
Next summer, you can go.
yeah,
Once you get settled in.
once I get nice and settled.
So what I
Trying
want
the
to talk about
restaurants.
mostly is me and Zach
Yeah, there we go.
are working on a secret menu.
Yeah, we're
It
working
was-
on we're
it was
working
random.
towards a secret menu.
Cool.
Not to just expound about work a whole bunch, but so we're happy. I think with where the food menu is, more or less. I mean, I'm happy with it. It's definitely a strong improvement from where it was. And then we have all these cool ideas and fun stuff that we want to fuck around with and test out. And that is food that we are excited about, but that doesn't necessarily fit in with the theme of the restaurant or what
Nice.
vacation by the hour can only
Yeah.
go so far. And so, there's some more
What does that even mean, though?
What does that even mean? That was one of the first things.
Ask me, right? What does it mean? So
what does vacation by the hour mean? It means a million different things to a million different people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I read that, I thought it was more like whatever you do there, you're on vacation.
Some girl's watching reality TV with her fucking socks on her couch with her cat. That's her vacation by the hour.
She sounds pretty good.
And, then some other guy's like chucking beers with his homies. And
is it a staycation? Oh, it's a vacation. Right.
Yeah,
so
it's like
but a staycation
whatever makes you feel relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
so these are non-vacation ideas that we're working towards.
Whenever I start playing this guitar setup, it's going to be my vacation.
Vacation by the hour. If
So
we're here for another
I
hour,
promise I will only play for like 2 minutes.
If we're here for another hour,
I'm not going to be some
watching you
jam
play
band
guitar.
dude who's going to play your rig and just be like, "Oh, listen to this song I wrote when I was 18."
well, you don't have to do that, but I promise once you start messing with those, it won't be no 2 minutes. Chandler's itching to play nobody's seen this, but Princeton Telly.
It's amazing. He has this
pedals.
crazy setup with like all these pedals that I've never even heard of that probably cost more than like my motorcycle.
You should do a sister podcast called Austin All Night, and it's just people gushing.
Yeah, could be called Austin All Night. Gushing. No,
Just
I don't
gushing
know.
over these pedals and guitars. And
the last podcast that was up, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to, but he Mississippi Bus Stop is his band, and he when everybody left, there was 4 people here, and he the Mississippi Bus Stop guy, we sat here and played.
that's great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so there's not been a lot of people who are like, oh, cool. So most people are like, what the hell is that?
The first thing I noticed was this telecast.
Yeah, the Telly's great.
That's a beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Can you
Leslie.
tell the people who are listening what Leslie's made of, front and back?
Leslie. That's a
What did I say?
mahogany
Leslie.
mahogany body maple cap. Those are Les Paul
So it's
parts.
a telecast, but the back of it is mahogany wood, and the front of it is like this beautiful
It's almost
blue,
sky blue.
like a
sky blue
matte
color with a
sky
white
blue.
pickguard and
It
white
is
knobs.
a
It's
Les Paul.
insanely gorgeous.
I'm sorry, it's a Telly with a Les
It's a
Paul
Fender
body wood.
Telly. Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
So it's a maple cap with a mahogany body, which is traditional for Les Paul. So I named her Leslie. Like
I have to
Telly
say your
Leslie.
priorities are in line, and I respect that about you.
I've mentioned I'm on a permanent honeymoon with that guitar.
Respect
That's
the
your
shit out of you.
vacation.
Yeah,
That's my vacation.
There you go.
Yep.
Staycation.
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 By the hour.
Clarify. No, you'll get on there, Chandler. We'll get you hooked up. So as far as working in Austin, you're both in you've been there for long enough. What kind of hours are you guys putting in?
Oh, not a lot.
Really?
It's great.
it's vacation by the hour. That's
Vacation
the
by
company
the hour.
policy. So it's like nobody works more than 40 hours a week.
I work more than 40
Even
hours
then,
a week.
it's like, come on, take it easy, dude. Like, just chill out. Like,
No, you're kidding.
we're not paying you over hour.
It's not
Like,
crazy.
it's like,
Okay, but it's
they pay you for 32 hours and everything else you do for free, but
Yeah.
you can't be there more than 40
You got to
hours
come
a
in and
week.
prep like 7 hours before your
Yeah.
shift. But no, it's not bad. I'm not pulling crazy hours. I mean, I think
I'm
that's
not
one
either.
of the that's like one of the reasons I
Cool.
wanted to work there as opposed to like another opportunity was to be able to enjoy the city and not just if I was just going to bury myself in a kitchen, honestly, for 60 to 70 hours a week, there's no point in me coming here.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole idea was
I
to
think you're
move
pretty
somewhere.
wise, man. Because I think I've seen people, chefs who've moved here, who are in an executive role, and that regardless, they just end up kind of like enjoying the city, and like that's the focus. I mean, he's got
have
lots
to.
to do. I mean,
He has
Otherwise,
a lot
what's
to
the
do,
point?
and
What's the point of being here? If I'm just going to be in a kitchen inside in like a little box for 12 to 14 hours a day,
no, yeah,
it doesn't matter what city I live in.
Yeah, no, unless you're on Adderall and
Honestly,
be able
yeah.
to go out after that.
No,
Yeah.
I would just go home and sleep and then wake up and then be a grump and drink like whatever gallons of coffee.
Oh, I thought you were.
I thought,
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought
You
he was
were
going to say
describing
something
my
else.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I mean,
I was
just
like,
like, to try
finally, I can relate
try
to
and
this guy.
function. Oh yeah, and then probably drink a bunch of whiskey or gin to soothe everything.
Sure.
He says a bunch. He means like
A bunch is like maybe
4 ounces.
4 to 4.5.
That's 2 drinks.
Well,
Of
when you
really fine,
if you work enough,
really good,
like a Speyside or
really good whiskey.
really good. It's got to be good. Otherwise, it's just
Really
not
good.
worth it.
Yeah.
So you guys, you both enjoy Last Straw, working
It's
on
great.
this secret menu.
Secret menu. I mean, Andrew Weishart's, I think like a name in Austin, and like he's a great dude to work for. he's someone that I enjoy, like I like his input. I think it's valuable, and I think he also is letting me do what I want to do, which is really great.
That's key.
I like finding a company that wants to have me there as opposed to wanting to just like fill a role with a body.
Creative freedom, right?
Creative freedom and trust that, I'm working there to do something worthwhile for them, at their benefit and mine as well. So, yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty great.
So some random things here for any folks in the industry listening. Shoes, curveball here. Shoes, non-slip shoes.
What do I wear?
Sure. Or what have you?
That's a good question.
Yeah. What to avoid? What do you wear?
Okay, so I wear Birkenstocks.
The kind of loose
I wear
fit guys.
I wear the clogs
ones, okay.
but they have like a sort of like service industry non-slip.
With the
sole.
insert, you can kind of.
He wears the black ones that are slip-on.
The slip-on like Boston's, but they have like a non-slip, harder.
I saw a pair today of those
They're
that were
great.
like really, really nice ones. Like I
love
guess the next level up from those, where they're actually like, the sandals not the sandals with the open toe, but like a black leather sandal.
Yeah.
Not loose like those. I've never seen those.
I don't know. I have it where it's like a closed-toe leather clog.
Oh,
They're
it is
expensive.
leather.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is
it's
leather.
expensive. It's a Birkenstock.
With
It's
kind of
expensive.
like a
Cork,
rigid
but it's like a
bottom.
rigid bottom that's it's like a
green,
specific
like a
non-slip.
forest green bottom.
It's gray. Those are
It's
my
just cork.
favorite. Yeah, it's like a cork insole, and then
It's just the
Replaceable, right?
classic ones. No, it's not replaceable.
Oh, it's not.
That's the
But
thing.
they
that's-
break in,
That's
though.
that's the really shitty thing about clogs and like kitchen shoes is that like what's the one I wear? What's the name of that? It starts-
Dansko.
So I have Danko.
Yeah,
I know
Dansko,
because I pay attention to this stuff.
I just forget. I want to call it like Daikon or something.
I wear Daikon.
I wear
shoes on my feet.
Daikons. Have you heard of them? They're only $150.
Homemade,
Pickled.
right? Yeah. Pickled.
But once you buy like those and the sole goes out or whatever, it's like the leather usually cracks because people don't take care of them.
Yeah.
But you can't resole that. They're just, but it's only whatever. It's just $150 and it saves your back. That's why I have them because my lower back sucks.
Well, it's definitely true. You say it's only $150, but like it lasts
You're wearing them
long
every
enough.
day.
Every day.
A
right?
month, like that would mean me not having lower back pain for a month. Like I'd pay $150 a month not to have lower back pain like I used to have before I had those shoes.
So my first pair was the hell was that? Your phone?
My phone dropped.
My first pair was Mozo's.
I mean, my
And that
rectangle.
was my rectangle.
My rectangle fell on the floor.
Last rectangle dropped. My first pair was Mozo's, and those were like $100, and it was like a huge waste of money because they fell apart really quickly.
Even $100 is,
Then it's still pricey.
Were they leather?
And then, I don't even know.
Did
they
you
were like
oil them?
expensive ones. I don't know, man. I don't oil my shoes.
Probably not.
I shouldn't. I mean, I probably would do it now, but
Canola
even saying
oil,
that,
dude.
like I don't.
Just squirt
I guess I
bottle.
do.
Squirt bottle,
No,
like-
I do with my. No, I do. Yeah,
but
I'll
you
do a little
guys,
like-
have landed on what works. Birkenstocks.
Oh, man,
and
Birks.
these.
I cannot swear by
I mean,
Daikon.
I kind of want what he
Daikons,
has.
Pickled daikons, the yellow ones.
I kind of want what he has,
They're
but
nice, man. Do you wear them outside of work?
Birks. I have. Oh man,
I wear mine all the time
You
outside
don't
of
wear-
work.
he's
Oh,
asking.
so-
He's asking me if I wear Birkenstocks outside of work.
No, do not ask him if he wears Birkenstocks outside of work. Okay, I can't even express how
This should
fucking
be
funny
video.
this
Man, I
is
should have worn
because
those shoes today.
you're not recording this, because if you were, I would hold up this video of this guy. Oh my god, it was so funny. So he bought the
Well, send it to me. I'll put it on the
ugliest shoes.
Instagram.
Do not tell how much they were. They were way.
I
too
won't tell him how much
expensive.
they were, but he bought the ugliest. What brand is it?
They're Birkenstocks. They're
He bought the
fucking ugly
ugliest
as
pair of
shit.
Birkenstocks you've ever seen in your life. Like they put kitchen
It's a
shoes to
shoe.
shame. Like
Oh man, it's great.
oh, you
They're
think
laced
clogs
up.
are ugly? No, these shoes are like
I want to see this.
I'll follow
crazy
him up
ridiculous
afterwards.
early. And every time I see him when he's not working, he's wearing them
Oh, they're great.
with like
They're
some crazy
so-
pink and
they're-
purple sock or something.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he's a loud person. I get it. But
I suppose.
he's wearing all black right now.
All black with some fucking metal shit. He's super loud.
But wait, on his
All
day
right.
off
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
he'll show
Oh,
up in
man.
like a Hawaiian shirt with like purple socks on, and like
Bright blue sunglasses.
these ugly shirts, his bright
Good
yellow hat, and like
choices here. Good
Oh, yeah.
choices here.
he wants to be seen.
So let me
Birks.
ask you guys.
Birks for sure.
Birks for sure.
Oh yeah.
Dansko, Daikon, whatever we're calling them. But
Just
So-
the brown leather ones. So for
brown
sure.
leather.
Yeah.
So what for each of you guys, or Chanler first, favorite kitchen tool? What have you found? What do you?
I'm glad you brought that up because
There we go.
There was this one time when I was working at Munger's Market and Kitchen on Cesar Chavez. It's a beautiful restaurant. You should check it out.
Shout out to Munger's.
Shout out to Munger's.
I haven't been there
Munger's.
yet. I haven't been there.
I'll take you there. And they'll give us free drinks because we shout out to Munger's. But I was there before opening, and you pulled up in your truck in the back.
My Freightliner.
And you walked in with your like bus tub with your towel, and you said, "Hey, give me your knives." And we gave you your knives, and then me and Shane Stark and Josh all walked into your trailer, and I bought my first shit.
You don't even remember?
No, it's like the I use it today.
Steel?
3 oranges inside of the orange sauce with the maypoi.
Microplane?
Oh, yeah, I bought my first microplane. Sorry, I've been drinking. He poisoned me with this dog head 90-minute Imperial APN.
Dogfish.
I'm losing my goddamn mind.
So wait.
So you showed up and we walked in there and I bought my first microplane from you. And what's another word for
a zester?
Zester?
The purple one? What do they call that?
Purple?
The eggplant?
No, aubergine. Aubergine. What is it?
What?
The French word for like a
aubergine?
Yeah, that's what they call it. And you told me that. You gave me a little fun fact. You're like, it's not purple, it's aubergine. And I was like, cool. Let me buy the aubergine then.
Okay.
Motherfucker. Like,
so you have a purple
like I've never done.
Yeah, and I bought it from you.
Okay, all right.
In your truck.
That probably did happen.
Yeah, I was like, I want the purple one. You're like, it's not purple. Actually, they call it aubergine. And I was like, I wish you had black, but I'll get the aubergine.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, of course I do.
But and so that's your jam, right?
Well, that's the first time I met you, and that's the first conversation we had, and that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's good. That's a good run. Yeah,
it's a good memory, right?
It is a good memory.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So zester or microplane. We're going with microplane.
I'd say microplane.
Cheese melter. That's what I call it.
If we limit it to microplane, we're talking about a handled microplane, right? With the zester.
I like that non-handled one, and just like
I know. I was going to say that's why I
specified.
There's people who have preferences.
Oh, those are great.
What about you?
All right, you're gonna like that. I've been thinking about it for about the last like 30 to 45 seconds. So I'm gonna say, I know everyone's probably like, oh, kitchen, like a sharp kitchen knife or whatever. I would go sharpening stone.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
you should see this guy on a sharpening stone.
Baby, I probably can't even like.
I'm gonna be put to shame. He goes into a different realm of being like.
But it's so important.
Well, it's meditation, right?
It's meditative, and
okay, if we're gonna say stone,
sure.
Well, then we're gonna say what brand of stone?
All right, so I have at home. I have the Shapton glass, which are great, and I bought them like I didn't know anything, right? So, all right, so let's give a really good shout out. So, Chef Knives to Go, which is
that's Mark and Susan Richmond,
right in Wisconsin.
Hell yeah!
So I like came across them when I started cooking. I was probably in culinary school. It was like 2012 or something like that. And just came across that website as like a place to buy knives. And it's like, this is cool. I can buy whatever, like a $90 cool Japanese knife or like a $300 cool Japanese knife or whatever. And then I got sort of into that. And then you start paying attention to it and you're like, oh, well, I need to keep these sharp and I want to learn how to do that as opposed to like, you know, letting them dull out and then asking someone else to like tear away a bunch of metal on my knife.
Sure.
So, Mark has, it's like a series of like 15 YouTube videos or something probably.
Oh, you
that are just
tutorials on how to sharpen?
I was like off for a day and I just sat and like watched knife sharpening videos for like 3 to 4 hours on my computer.
Sure.
And he was like, talking to, the camera, just basically being like, I don't really know how to do this. And I'm trying to teach myself and learn. So this is what I found works.
Yeah.
And so he is running a tutorial based from the perspective of someone who is not familiar with it and learning it.
Sure.
And
But he's familiar enough. I've watched those too.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so I started watching those and I was just like, okay, I'm going to replicate this and try and do it to the best of my abilities. And like, it makes, obviously, it's like preaching to the choir, but like that is... You can have a shitty knife and sharpen it, right? But if you can't sharpen it, then it's just like a shitty piece of metal that's dull and doesn't get you anywhere. Chandler is throwing a hula hoop around into the stairs now.
that's yeah.
But I mean, like honestly, like that is.
That's perfect, man. Zester from Chanler. I'm sorry, eggplant colored zester.
Eggplant colored,
but the sharpening stone and. More importantly, that's the first time Mark Richmond, Chef Knives to Go has been brought up. That guy transformed my life. I actually went. I don't know if I told you this.
No.
So I'll tell.
We didn't talk about this at all. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell this for the podcast because I've never said it. I was visiting my cousins who live in Wisconsin because
He's up in like Madison or something?
He's in Madison, so they live in Madison, and you've seen that on the website, right?
For sure.
So I knew that, and I called them because I don't know if you've ever called, but they are so down to earth. If you call them, they will answer and they will talk to you for however long it needs. And I called him and I said, "Hey, I'm coming to Madison. Can I stop by and check it out?"
Oh, it's so cool.
And he said, "Sure, yeah."
You want to look at a warehouse full of boxes?
Yeah, so I stopped in, and it's this little town in Madison, and it's on a strip, and like a traditional kind of little town that you'd think not in a warehouse,
right?
And I walk in, it's just boxes and boxes, and he's like, no one's really come here before, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just looking around and kind of geeking out, being this knife nerd and into all the stuff that he's selling on there, and I tell him I want to buy a knife. I got to buy a knife, and I pick out. I'll show you the knife.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, it was just a petty knife, and I pick up the knife and I say, okay, this is good. Trying to stick to a certain budget, and so I'm like, all right, man, I'll buy this one.
Yeah,
and then he goes, all right, well, here, get on my computer and check out
online.
I was like, was there free shipping? What? So
yeah, I mean, I have email. I know, like. It's funny to say, but it's like, well, when you think about how little customer service like interaction you would really have, but then like I've emailed and just like had like a random question or like, oh hey, could I get this, or oh, can I tack this out of my order or something, and like that they respond.
Yeah,
one is kind of impressive because it's just like a literal mom and pop.
It is, man. I could go on for hours about.
So like seeing him. I mean, it's such a cool business to me. And then like seeing how, especially that website, like influenced so many people that I knew and I respected, and everyone that I was working with, when I was a cook, was familiar with it, was ordering from them, like understood the quality that provided to, I think, like a quality tool that provided to someone, as opposed to like going to like Northwestern Cutlery or something like that, or buying a knife from like Crate and Barrel or whatever. I mean, just like...
Well, and to go all the way back to what you were saying, that you can get a shitty knife, and if it goes dull, it's just a piece of metal. It's the same with a nice knife, but the tutorials go a long way, and there is nothing like going to work with just a razor blade edge and just being able to plow through it. It makes your life easy.
Having that skill...
Very true.
Like, having that skill is like the same as like being a good saute cook or whatever, because it really changes like how well you, or like how effective you are in your role. So if you're a prep cook and you have a dull knife, it takes you 5 times as long to do something, and it's less good.
5 times as long, and it's more stress on yourself.
Yeah, it's stressful. I've been lazy and not sharpened my knife, and tried to like butcher a ton of stuff. Like when I was working at Little Good, it was like production kitchen, and it was like working at, trying to butcher whatever, I don't know, 300 pounds of brisket twice a week. And if my knife was dull, it's like wearing against my hand and wearing against my psyche. I mean, like, it's just
this is what happens. We're still talking about, you've gone to the bathroom, gotten us beers, and we're still
throwing a
talking
hula hoop
about
around.
knives.
I knew that would happen. That's why I was.
You were like, I'm going to take a break now.
Because recently he's been sharpening my knives, and
oh really?
I
Are you paying him?
I did everything but get on my knees and like thank him, but
I'm undercutting you by.
But no, the Shapton glass. That's I use the
Shaptons are nice.
Shapton
Yeah, they're
Pros.
nice. They're easy.
Yeah,
it's
I
you
use
can
the
just
Shapton Pros because they come in a little. They're just the slab of ceramic. And it comes in a. You put it. It's got a little case. It comes in. It sits real nice.
I mean, the one I have at work is just. I don't even know the brand. It was just some red, like little whatever 1000 grit.
Half red, half brown. I bought a bunch of stuff. Everything I've ever bought, I bought from you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man. The
you don't remember me because I was in and out.
No, I remember you.
I had a job to do.
It's because I kind of tropical. Now you haven't mentioned this, but I asked you guys a couple things. But you worked at Kind of Tropical.
Yeah, I was there since not day one, but like a month or a couple months after.
And then they went over the new management and all that.
Yeah, management.
So
changed
Anna and
Anna and Kevin were like
And they were cool guys.
my homies.
Yeah.
I worked under Anna, and Kevin
what are
was
they
my
up to?
number one dude.
No one will know what I'm talking about. or who-
Everyone will know what you're talking about if they've
okay.
ever been to kind of tropical in the
Yeah,
past 2
those
years.
guys are the shit, right?
No,
haven't
they're
been
like
there
the
yet.
coolest couple. I love Kevin and Anna infinitely. But after management changed and they weren't a part of it anymore, I kind of was just
Okay.
like,
I didn't know you were there.
well, I was just in the kitchen. Like, you wouldn't have known unless
No,
you
but
saw
I
my
would
face.
go there. I would go there in the morning, like 8 a.m.
Oh, really?
For like
Oh,
business.
Yeah, I worked Mondays with Ariel. She's an amazing person.
With the red hair, the curly hair?
Yeah, she short hair.
No, I'm
she's
taking-
really gorgeous.
Who's the red, long, curly hair?
Oh, that was
I liked
Jesus
her.
Christ, Rebecca.
Rebecca. Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't live in Austin anymore.
Oh.
I think she
She
actually moved
escaped?
back.
Sorry.
She escaped.
Sorry to fill
she
you in.
escaped.
No,
It may
that's
happen.
She
Every
escaped to
city.
San Francisco because she
Escaped to
thought
San
that would
Francisco.
be like a cheaper route, but turns out that's not what happened.
Wow.
I think she moved back, honestly, but we're not
Yeah.
in contact anymore because we were only coworkers. But
Sure.
yeah, I wasn't there on the shifts on the days that you went.
No.
Apparently. But
Well, I
I worked.
think I
I
was
worked
there
the busy
too
shifts.
early.
I worked weekends
Sure.
and like Monday mornings.
Cool spot, though.
No, it was the coolest spot. It was like
cool.
it started as a clubhouse, and it was just really great. And it's a secret word you only has to whisper. No, it was just like a secret clubhouse that people started that was really amazing, and then like they kind of had to like get the numbers right, and I feel like that's why I went under. But
Yeah.
that's where all the fun ended as well. So.
Sure.
Yeah, when you got to start making money, it's
Yeah. Whenever
Party
you're
is
ready,
over, guys.
Party is
gotta
over.
make money.
Party's over.
Yeah.
no more staff,
No more
no more
fun.
servers.
No,
Cut
they
your
actually-
Oh, we never had servers.
They actually literally closed.
They closed for 3 months.
Yeah, they
Damn,
didn't
really?
even kind of revamp the menu and kind of redo management. They just
Closed.
shop.
The fucked up thing is nobody knew about that until like
But they're still
a
open, right?
couple
I mean, it's
days
open now, right?
beforehand.
Kind of tropical.
Oh,
Kinda
they opened
tropical.
3 months later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they opened 3 months later.
Man, oh man.
regardless, cool spot.
Really cool spot. A lot of cool things happening there. Yeah.
Sure. So you said mostly.
Yeah.
I know, and this is along the lines of people who may be listening who are in the industry. So we've talked about kind of like favorite things that you guys use, but what's your typical? If you're going to go with the essentials that you're going to bring to, I guess maybe your current job or any job, what's in your knife kit?
Chanler, you can go. I'm gonna go first. I guess a knife.
Yeah, I would say a knife.
A knife, a peeler.
sheath, and maybe
A what?
some green
A sheath?
some
Yeah.
green tea, a Ziploc of green tea. I usually have like
Gotta bring the green tea.
I have an extra T-shirt rolled up real tight in there. There's always a Jewel with like a mint pod in it.
Those are
and
dangerous
a charger
now.
and a charger in there. No, only the mango ones are dangerous.
I didn't say bus stop. I said in your knife roll.
Yeah, this is what's in my knife roll.
It's
This
in
is
your
what's my knife
sleepover
roll.
bag.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if I'm going to be there 8 hours, like, I'm going to be comfortable. You know?
Oh.
So it's like
Pair of sweatpants.
Set up a little station.
an extra
with
pair of socks.
Some
You never
incense,
know.
right, by the cutting board.
Yeah,
7 beers.
but definitely a knife.
lava lamp.
There's always a knife in there. That's for sure.
For sure.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
knife's key.
Yeah, definitely a knife.
No, I'd go. Yeah, knife peeler, a book to like something to write
Notebook.
notebook. Like
Oh,
notebook.
okay. So you take notes.
No books.
Not
yeah,
like
that's
1984
important,
or Moby Dick.
yeah.
Right,
Great
right.
Yeah, like a
Gatsby.
little like a little
Like
notebook,
a prep list kind
pen,
of, or whatever needs to
Sharpie,
be
or
done.
whatever,
Just a little book.
recipes,
Yeah.
notes, who knows
A
what.
Sharpie.
Yeah, Sharpie.
The
Like-
secret
And
menu.
then also a finer Sharpie.
No, what you need is a clickable Sharpie.
Oh, I had one of those, but I broke the like thing that you clip it on your shirt, so now it's useless.
A Sharpie that you have to remove the cap every time is a waste of time. You need a clickable
a clickable
Sharpie
one.
Clickable sharp.
for sure.
But when you break the thing, it's useless. Can you agree on that?
Yeah, but I've never broken them. I just pass them off to someone else and say, "Can I get that back?" And they say, "Yeah." And then they never give it back, and then I yell at them the next day, and then I get a new Sharpie from the box.
You know why I would never ask for a Sharpie from you?
Yeah,
Because
I
one
would
day,
tear your fucking head off.
2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, if you've ever been in Last Straw, you know, like there's a little back bar by the third well. That's where the managers sit on their computers and pretend like they're working.
We're not working.
So I would like walk out from the kitchen and go over there, and I remember touching his pen, like just touching it and moving it like a half a centimeter. And he's like, "Why do you have to touch my pen?" And I was like, Jesus
was
fucking
one of those
Christ.
days.
I was like,
Don't touch.
okay.
So
shit.
yeah, I'm a pretty.
So,
would you say I'm a pretty laid back? I'm a pretty laid back chef. I'm not like.
He's like a.
I think
he's like a hurricane off the coast of an island that's like, oh, it's not going to be a category 3. That's not going to be a category 5. That's definitely a 1. He's just going to blow over.
You know
he
what?
looks like a 1 who's blowing over, but like
in all
you can
reality,
see the 5 in his eyes.
I think it's a pretty good because like you've talked about like your thoughts on Michelin, but like like
he's never been mean to me.
You don't touch land, right? You don't ever strike.
Such a mean boy.
Don't take my
Just a threat.
don't take my fucking Sharpie. I swear to God, don't take
That's
it.
the Sharpie.
See the
That's
5
it.
in his eyes.
Don't take my Sharpie, and don't leave my.
Hey, but
dirty.
I found the Sharpie stash in
But I'll let- you know, I mean,
the
like-
office.
Oh,
I found
sound
it.
like an asshole. I'm like, oh, let people use my knife. It's like,
Yeah. Well,
Except that one time that
You
guy
sound like
was
a
the guy
prick.
was using the
oh yeah,
he's like trying to sharpen his knife and he was like
just with like a $12
God.
steel.
I would
he's
ask-
so fast.
I'd ask about pet peeves, but that would probably cover it.
Pet peeves.
So cookbooks.
Here we go.
Cookbooks. Let's talk cookbooks. I have,
Do you have
a lot.
cookbooks?
I have a lot of cookbooks.
Do you have any
for it.
favorite cookbooks? Here, recommendations, just like places to go eat.
Okay, so going back to the secret menu, I'm really into like fermentation.
Okay.
With my last job and also this job,
I
it's
keep
like
forgetting, by the way, to bring in a book that I have
Which is called?
about fermentation.
What's it called?
about fermentation. Maybe it's the one you're talking about.
It's definitely not the one I'm talking about. 'cause
Oh,
we've
so
already
the book
talked
I'm talking about
this.
is Mastering Fermentation.
Mine is Noma's Guide in Fermentation.
Well, there's the art of fermentation over there, but
Well, I got the Noma Guide to Ferment. Noma whatever Noma book that Noma put out about fermentation.
You see it.
Cuisine Foundation.
yeah. That's a local Chicago thing right there.
You could burn it.
Yeah. But,
So Noma.
yeah, Noma put out a book about fermentation. It's like Noma's Guide to Fermentation. It's really big. It's beautiful. The company that puts it out starts with a P. I don't remember the name of it, but
But you're digging that?
literally every book that I have starts with a P. You understand what I'm saying? They'll understand what I'm saying. But yeah, Noma, it's really good. A lot of fancy equipment that we don't have, but you don't really need all that to just ferment stuff. Like you just need to understand
Cooking is archaic. Man.
weight by volume to salt, and you can ferment a bunch of stuff. But our secret menu is definitely gonna have a little bit of like fermentation.
Let's just call it funky. That's gonna be a little funky.
We call it funky. He calls it funky.
I call it funky.
He calls it funky boys.
How much are you guys
It's gonna be
going
our
to push
food
the
truck.
secret menu?
I don't know.
Like, is it going to be?
Secret-
I want it to be
Really-
printed. I want it to be printed. I want it to be
Yeah.
really, really good, and I want it to be like.
But is it going to be public? All like, or is
I
it going
think
to
so.
be?
Absolutely, yeah.
Then
Yeah.
why are we calling it secret?
Because it's gonna be secret. It'll only be like.
Because if you don't follow us, us on Instagram, then
Okay.
you won't
Then how would
know
you
about
know?
it.
We're gonna have
Literally the only
regulars.
avenue that we're gonna put it out there on.
Yeah.
And also, if you talk to the bar menu, if you talk to a bar person and you're like, "Hey, what's a secret?"
I think it's all relative
Nobody's
to
gonna
like
say
someone
that.
who's walking in off the street
All right.
who is saying like,
I
"Oh,
got it.
can I? Hey, I'm gonna get food," and then it's
One
like,
of the
"Here's
13,000
menu."
people that follow them on Instagram.
All right. So
Yeah.
I was talking about a 10% discount, but if you really want to get in, if anybody's this into you guys, where they've listened to this far into our episode,
There's one person out there probably.
Yeah, no. These are the two things you need to know. You walk up and you say, "Can I see the industry menu?" And this is a bar menu,
Industry menu is the way to
which
go.
is really
Okay.
good. $3
Hope you
shots
like
of
a White
Espolone.
Wow.
$3 shots of Espolone.
I'll be there tomorrow.
That's all I need to
When
say.
does the menu launch?
It's been out forever.
Industry menu's up.
Like since August 28th.
No,
Oh,
the
secret
No, the
menu?
industry
The
menu.
secret
The industry menu.
No, I don't know. Secret menu, we're still working on.
Yeah, we're still working on that. But the
I bet-
industry
I'd say
menu,
another
the
month.
bar menu, it's like
So right when this
$3
launches,
Tecates, $4 24 ounce.
What is
White
this thing where
Claws.
you guys can like drink for free there? What is that?
drink for free.
Yeah, so that's only if you are the guy who started Austin All Day podcast, and
Nice.
Oh yeah.
that only works
shit.
for
We're like,
people
hey,
like
you
you.
I guess
sharpen
I
knives for
retired.
free. You drink for free.
No, I thought I saw something where you
Oh,
either
there's
spend
member.
1,000. Yeah, member.
Yeah, you can become a
The
member.
membership
Do you
thing.
spend
Oh
1,000 for
man, I'm
membership?
such a
or do you-
bad brand rep right now.
I don't know anything about.
Yeah, you
that.
can become a member. You spend $1,000.
So you pay for $1,000.
Pay $1,000
and
and
you
then
get
it's-
free drinks.
You'd get
crazy.
free drink. You get a discount on your
Oh,
food and drink.
A free
Say free
drink.
drink a day. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's how it works.
I mean, I think for them it was a way to get investors.
I'd pay $1,000 a year to get free drinks forever there.
If you have money, and especially in Austin, it's like if you have money, $1,000 isn't.
Hey, listen,
not much to you.
People who have money. We just did a podcast here recently. The event was tonight, which this won't go up tonight, but it's September 18th. This is a chef's table at the Archer Hotel. Sounds nice, but it's like the tickets were $2,000. It was Water to Thrive, the nonprofit charity. They're raising a lot of money, but like everybody I talked to in the industry was like, never heard of it. And that's because the tickets are $2,000 and we haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it's not relative to service.
So who's it benefiting?
So it's actually pretty legit. So there's like David Bull and Taco from Kamiri Tatsuya. He was actually on the podcast talking about this with a lineup of about 12 other chefs and Chef Janelle at Rosedale. It's cool chefs, but the nonprofit is they build wells in East Africa. And she was on here. She was talking all about it. Taco kind of drilled her a little bit about where exactly does the money go, because sometimes you don't know, and they're legit. They know where the money goes, and it was pretty cool. But how did I get on that?
Africa needs water, so I support that. You were talking about how it's really expensive, and
no, there's
nobody knows
people,
about it.
But there's people here with money, man.
Well, I feel like the right people know about that, because the people that are coming to support that aren't the culinary people coming from the culinary side. It's people coming from the side that's supporting Africa and water and whatever organization that is that's promoting that.
Yeah, but still, that's you're talking about some serious cash there.
They have it.
Oh, people in Austin have money.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's driven out into the hill country and just kind of looked at houses, that's not a. I mean, even downtown, right? The east side even is starting to become like these properties that should be like $600 properties are $10 million. Those are exaggerations on both.
Oh, yeah.
It's very.
But yeah, I mean, there's enough expendable income. It's a big enough city where you have enough wealth that there's philanthropic, opportunities, and and then there's opportunities to say, I can spend $1,000 a year and get discounts on my drinks if I go there every week.
So that's what you can do with the last straw. Sorry,
no, but I mean, like that's that's like the
full circle.
The whole thing is like, like you've got expendable income. I mean, I think for them it was a way to secure financing.
Do you guys have members that you know of?
Do I?
I don't know anyone who's a member there.
No.
Do we have a membership party that you catered and worked, didn't you? Wasn't there a membership party that you worked at?
Oh yeah, there's members. I mean,
how many were there? Was there a lot of people there?
I don't even know. It's like,
do you remember?
Maybe a few dozen or 50 or some odd 60, something like that.
Oh.
But it's probably friends of owners and people like tertiary to the business who said, oh yeah, I'm going to invest X amount of dollars, and it ends up being a membership, and so they get a little bit of care taken towards them, and that sort of thing.
We're all over the place, but I'm just curious. Next door is the. Oh, you pronounce it now. Well, you pronounce it.
What?
Which one?
The brewing as at
Lazarus.
Okay,
it's not French or anything. It's just called Lazarus. It's like
I know,
it's a biblical brewery.
You haven't been able to pronounce a bunch of words.
Recently. Oh, I know.
And I couldn't think of it really.
Yeah. Okay. So you wanted me to just mispronounce it.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Lazariars.
Lizard Brewing and Coffee.
So do you guys collaborate with that? Any association?
No.
Yeah, we do have one association.
Okay, so that's next.
James. We have a bar back named James.
Shout out to James Cole.
He works at both places.
Beautiful man.
He eats a lot of food.
Beautiful man. He eats a lot of food.
What about Counter Cafe? You guys are literally side by side.
But we do have a collaboration with the brewery.
Oh, you do? Oh, Zilker.
Okay. So not Lazarus.
Zilker.
Okay.
No, but Lazarus. What did they do with James? It was so cool. They what was it? Oh, he picked up shifts there. So if you work there at the brewery, they give you a certain amount of money off at Austin Bouldering Gym. Something. What was it? 50% off of the membership a year. Something. It was something crazy, and I was like, "Dang, I want to pick up a shift there. Like, get me a shift there if I can save $50 off of that.
Go climb a wall.
I love climbing.
You do?
Yeah, it's like my favorite sport. But it's like,
do you ever do it like?
Just watch Free Solo. So
I used to do it all the time.
Made
but
me think of you.
I got in a really bad mountain bike accident. Thanks to my friend Isaiah McCaslin. Shout out to Isaiah McCaslin. Took me mountain biking with these really expensive mountain bikes, and nobody was there, and he's like, just follow me. And, like, we did a bunch of rounds, and I just got overzealous, and I was like really excited and hit the front brake a little too hard this one time, catapulted, front flipped his bike into the woods, and I landed on my right shoulder.
Yeah.
But hey, I showed up the next day. I showed up 3 days later. I was off the weekend. I showed up 3 days later, not being able to lift my arm like this high above my shoulder. Showed up at Ossington, where I was like the fishmonger at Ossington, and I like filleted a bunch of salmon.
You've been in Ossington too.
Chandler's worked at every restaurant in Austin. I don't even know.
Name a restaurant. Ready, go. No, I've worked at a few, and I can.
But you know,
I worked at Better Half too, and I love Better Half. Rich is a fucking cool dude.
Shout out to Rich.
Shout out to Rich Rimbolt. I hope I said your name right. He has a fast Harley and a mean right hook.
And good food.
And great food. I would say the best thing at Better Half is the fried chicken. It's like a Tennessee hot chicken. I think he developed this when I was working there. So it's like Tennessee fried hot chicken when you like dip it in like hot stuff. But it's a fried chicken on a homemade biscuit with a jalapeno honey butter. And it's just like this big. It's like not that big, you know? Like, but it's the messiest, most delicious. Like
Valentina's is closed,
hottest.
by the way.
Did we miss it?
Yeah.
We were planning to do this podcast and then go over there and eat Valentina's. I knew we'd miss it.
It's okay. We'll go back.
Man.
But we can still go to
There we go.
Yellow Jackets, Little Darling. We can go to Little Darling if you want.
There you go, little darling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, tell them you were just on the podcast and tell them to come in. They're coming.
Just coming.
Little darling, the whole crew.
Oh, they were here?
No, they're coming. But you tell them you were on here and tell them to come.
Oh, okay.
They need to set it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get those guys.
Oh man, that's a bummer. Yeah, Valentina's.
Sorry, it's on my list.
That's
the thing. It's like I'm trying to get to like, you know, all the good taco spots and all the good barbecue spots and
Dude, I lived here for
Whatever.
years, and I started the podcast, and that's the first time I went to Valentina's because I
You're
started to feel. I told Chanler
left out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I started to feel like everybody was like, "What? You haven't been there? It's right there." And I was like, "Oh shit!"
I made
And
the
then the
mistake
third
of
podcast
and
that
it's
happened. I
very
was like,
close to you.
I know. And then I went over
insanely
there.
close.
But there's always a line, and so I discovered a time where there wasn't a line. I told you
7:12 p.m. No line. I don't think we saw.
No, there was 4 p.m.'s the time.
No.
You want to go 4 p.m. There's no line. But he's going to come on here.
Oh, nice.
Miguel, his brother.
I'll listen to that.
I don't know how to do that because.
That's the one.
That's the one I'm going to listen to.
Well, I don't know how to do it because there's a whole family.
Hey, get
Bring the whole family.
I wanted Aaron Franklin and Miguel.
Go get Rich from Better Half to talk on this, and then go get Shane from Mungers to talk on this.
Dude, Shane was supposed to be here.
When?
Fucking Shane on the 12th, man, and then he
Dickhead.
He went silent on me.
Does everyone have like a story of a chef who was like the old school chefs? Like, it's a new school chef.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's like, Rich is a new school chef. He's like, I'm not gonna be angry and throw a pan across the kitchen. And
it
like,
almost sounds humorous.
be really upset because
you've
I wasn't.
experienced, yeah.
Yeah, but like the old dudes who got trained from older dudes who were like aggressive and aggro.
Dude, I've talked about this.
You know,
yeah.
it's like Shane was that guy. I feel like I learned more from Shane from Mungers.
Oh, he's old school?
Look at him. He's like he's basically a frat dude.
Yeah.
Like
There's something
Shane, I
to
hope
it.
you're listening because I know you follow this podcast.
Dude, Shane is
amazing, but he taught me literally everything I know.
He's a wealth of knowledge, but you know
when it came to like fine dining.
Well, the
stuff.
2 cents is that you drill somebody, you kind of belittle them, and then when they do it right, you kind of go up and you, good job,
Yeah.
and that means way more.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
you and yours,
but it's like
Oh, it's very frustrating. I mean, like really.
Zach has never told me good job.
I'm really. Yeah.
So he's just
He's
like,
never.
you're doing great.
He's never
you're
said.
doing great.
He's never said
Go
good
team.
Good
Go
job,
team.
Chandler.
Good job, Chandler.
I also don't need to hear that. I know I do a good job.
No, but like really, there's something about that when you're getting pressured, and then you never feel like you're doing it right, but you're trying to fucking best,
Yeah.
and then somebody comes up and says that looks great.
It's tough. It's tough to find cooks who want to work in that, like for that goal. I mean, that's what I was doing when I was starting cooking. Was like, I want to learn. from the best. Like I want to be a good cook. And so I didn't feel bad about myself by like, because I was fucking up. I was just like trying to learn, but I haven't seen nearly as much since getting into management and since being a chef where you have cooks who are just trying to like hone their skills and get improved and grow in a way that, you know, gets them in the position to become a leader in the kitchen. They're just working. And so they don't respond to that sort of like, I mean, it's abuse for sure. But like,
I'm just kidding.
it's hard.
I was never abused by it.
Yeah. No, but it's hard to like, you know.
Never.
I mean, I've seen some aggression.
Yeah.
You know, like some aggression in front of me, but it was never
not directed at
anything
you.
like directly at me. And
it also doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't.
It
play
doesn't
now,
matter.
It doesn't
It's-
work now.
yeah.
Like it's not a. I agree with like the direction that
I
kitchens
think it
are
works
going.
with a certain type of person.
but that's outdated. I feel like that
So-
that form of management and stuff is like, I'm gonna treat you really poorly until you do something right, and then tell you good job and pat
I don't
you on
know.
your back.
I would
Like,
disagree. I would say it's not specifically like about treating someone poorly. I think it's about
Well, he said outdated.
But like it's outdated.
it's outdated
the
to
idea
like
of just
be
being like
abusive.
Yeah.
And
abusive.
you
Yeah, that's
can't-
what I'm saying.
You can't be abusive. It's just not. It's literally like it doesn't promote a good work culture.
yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, like it is very difficult to be sacrificing, like for myself. It's like, oh, do I sacrifice my goals or do I push and push and push and push to let the people who are working for me know that here's what they need to achieve for me to achieve those goals? Because you're as a chef, you're relying on everyone who works for you to execute what your vision is, right?
It's constant reminders.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, do I handhold and am I kind and am I, just praising, which is,
No.
it can be a positive environment in which to work, but also,
If you're
is
telling me
that-
good job all the time, I'd be like,
yeah,
this
then
guy's
you're
a
like, this guy's a
pussy.
fucking.
I'd have no respect
But
for
I
you
mean-
whatsoever.
Well, that's good
But-
to know, though, man. I mean, really,
Yeah.
that's that little input there.
What?
I'm sure there's so many people who feel like that. Like if they're this day and age, man, like you can't drill somebody. So if they're gonna come up and be like, "Great job, you're doing great,
You're doing great. Your knife
Hey.
skills
Yeah.
fucking suck.
You're
And your food is
Mediocrity.
so they
is-
don't say that, right?
really giving me hot. Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's like, oh, this, your
Knife skills is everything.
this isn't how this was supposed to be cut. Do you throw it away? Like I throw it away in front of you, and it's like, do it again.
Would you do that?
Yeah, I
I
have
seen,
done
I
it.
haven't seen you do that.
I did it.
Should
But you
I?
weren't
Should I have
around.
done that with the lettuce that Mike made?
Yeah. Shout out to
See?
Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
No, but I mean,
Mike
like,
at Last Straw.
Mike at last round. Hashtag.
Hashtag
There's two, so you don't know who we're talking about.
The one in the kitchen.
Okay. God, Chandler, how many beers have you?
I've had 7 beers.
Oh boy.
No, I've had 1, 2, 3,
You're driving.
4,
That
5,
is
6.
impressive.
I've had 6 beers, and one of them was a 9%.
Hey, he's counting.
Dogfish
Keep going.
head.
You know what?
He's gonna play that guitar.
My girlfriend's out drinking right now, and so
Oh
we're,
yeah, we do.
we're gonna meet at the house, being both equally drunk, and we're gonna have an excellent night. Go to bed early, and I'm gonna wake up refreshed.
Yeah, and prep some stuff.
Oh,
And
well,
perhaps
here,
some
look,
things.
we've gone we've gone up, we've gone down, we've gone all
so
over
many
the place,
tangents.
but it's great. Nola, I wanted to talk to you about that, but
Yeah, let's talk about that.
well, we've been okay. Go ahead.
So,
This is extended cut.
who cares?
Extended cut. Wait, is this your first time?
No, absolutely not. So,
Fuck yeah!
Wow.
All right, Chandler, New Orleans segment.
sports are fun.
Real strong.
And then I went back this last weekend with 8 friends for my friend Tim's birthday. Shout out to Tim Ruiz. And it was crazy. We ate a bunch of places, and I was, just like always, really disappointed in the food. Except this one place.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Every time I go to New Orleans, I go to fancy restaurants, I go to lowbrow restaurants, I go to like just
Have you been to the gumbo
places.
shop?
No, I go to bodegas that I went to Verts. I go to all the places that everybody wants to go to.
Why do you go to New Orleans?
It's because it's a beautiful city. It's like
It's cool. It's cool.
it's
But, like,
weirder. It's
so-
weirder than Austin. It's like it's.
The food is so good.
I'm telling you, man. Every time I go, there's
Listen, my brother.
This time I got a good meal. It was at Turkey and the Wolf.
Yeah, man.
I got a really good meal at Turkey and the Wolf.
Yeah.
We were right around the corner from there. Was where I was staying. It was like 3 houses away from there.
Good shit.
And it took me till the last day to check out of my Airbnb, get in an Uber, and they took us to Turkey and the Wolf, and we are like, why do we even pay for this Uber? It was literally like 4 houses away. And we just got out of the Uber being like,
so good. The Turkey
cool, it's $15.
Sandwich shop. It's a sandwich shop.
Yeah, but it's so like it's something I would want to be a part of.
Yeah,
opening a restaurant. Like it's just like the right neighborhood, right vibe, like detail on everything. The trash cans are just like painted like a Pringles can. There's one inside painted like the Sesame Street monster cookie thing, and like
dude,
there's detail to everything.
It sort of upsets me that you've gone there and you haven't enjoyed the food. Listen,
that was what I was saying. That's the only place that I enjoyed the food. Like
yes, no.
The last last meal I had there was
my brother
the best
lives
meal
there, so every time I go there, I always get good food. Like he knows where to go.
Maybe I just don't know where the hell.
And that's what I'm saying. Next time you go,
I had good barbecue shrimp at one place.
I'm going to give you a list of places to go.
Everybody gives me lists, and I go to all those places, and it's like,
oh no! I've
had better barbecue shrimp at Munger's than I've had every time I've ever gone to New Orleans in the past 3 years.
Shout out to Shane.
Shout out to Shane at Munger's Marketing Kitchen.
Shane.
I'm telling you, his barbecue shrimp is 100 times better than any barbecue shrimp I've ever had there. The bread's better. The Worcestershire butter sauce is better. The shrimp is better.
Shane is the shit.
He's okay.
He's the shit. Don't worry about that, Shane. You're the shit.
No. Shane, I'm gonna fuck your shit up. No, he's a great guy.
But New Orleans, man, I'm serious. Gumbo Shop, you haven't been there. Turkey and the Wolf, you took care of. My brother's girlfriend runs Preservation Jazz Hall. And so every time I go there, I get to like witness that. They like put on a show, and I just get to walk in and watch it without spending any money. Usually have to wait like in this long line, spend like $25-$30. But there's many cool things about New Orleans.
There's 100 things cool about New Orleans. The coolest thing that I saw was we were walking out of a beignet shop, and there was like a ferry that had docked for the night or whatever, and there was this guy on the very, very top with his. So they had an organ on the top deck of this little boat, and a chair, and this guy sitting on his little stool, and he's playing this organ, and I don't know what song he's playing, but he's playing this song so loud on top of the ship, just like him, and like you can only see him from like way ways, you know, you're like 3 blocks away, but you hear this music, and it's everywhere. You hear it for miles. But I could see him, and I'd look over there, and we were all just like,
off the
what
Mississippi.
the hell, this guy's fucking playing this. And it's like big organ, and he's just like, like, and I was just like, he probably does this every night at sunset. Like,
oh, yeah.
Every single day.
That's what he does
doing right
now. Like, he's the king of New Orleans right now.
Man.
And every night during this hour. And it was just the most beautiful, weirdest thing I've ever seen in New Orleans. And I thought it was like, that was like the highlight of my...
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing.
So you wanted to throw in New Orleans. Anything you want to add here?
I've never been.
Just anything you want to add to the conversation tonight.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Come to Last Straw and ask for the secret menu.
Oh, yeah.
You need to get on the guitar. We need to wrap this up.
Yep. Heard.
There you go. Leslie's over there. Thank you, Chef Zack, Chanler.
It's a pleasure.
You guys come back.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Holler at your boy.
It's good fun, man.
Thank you.
All right. You guys be good.
Thanks.
Peace.